Okay, so this is a response to some comments. Did this a couple days ago and everybody seemed to like it, so I'm going to try again. So this is a recent comment, and this is actually a pretty decent criticism here, because when I look at criticism comments, I look at, do they understand or do they know what I'm trying to achieve, and are they giving me something to try to help me benefit what I'm trying to achieve. So in this case, he's saying, consider changing the font in your in-video text description. It's hard to read and it moves too fast. Okay, so he knows that I'm trying to convey some information using the words, and that, you know, trying to read it is an issue, and also going too fast. Also, the face cam is not something to bring back. Otherwise, good show. The features in the truck. The face cam, I can understand where it just kind of gets in the way and stuff, and I'm trying to implement it to where it's just kind of fades, like have it just for a certain portion, just so you can get an idea of who's actually talking, and then it goes back to the car, and then that way it's not always there up in the corner. And other people have mentioned that it kind of gets in the way if it's always up there. But I think there's some potential there, so I'm going to kind of play around with it and see, you know, where it works out and where it doesn't work out. So that was a total experiment. So I really appreciate you giving me some feedback there, John. And let's see here. If it had a roof rack, all-wheel drive, and higher ground clearance, it would be better than the Crosstrek. Okay. All right. Great review. Can you trigger cabin talk from the steering wheel controls? You know, I don't know the answer to that. I'm pretty sure that you can use your voice recognition, you know, initiate the voice recognition and then pull up the cabin talk feature that way. But I don't know. I don't have that much experience going through that vehicle to be able to tell. But I'll hopefully have some more an opportunity to find out tomorrow. I'll just say that. Okay, well, nice review. Thumbs up. Thank you very much, Greg. And Bart Simpson. Cool name. Okay, so, man, that microphone of yours showing in the rearview mirror at 3701 looks like a creature or something from a horror movie. Yeah, my microphone has a wind filter on it. It's all hairy looking, and so yeah, and actually that's a pretty good idea. I should put like little googly eyes on it, so that way when I lift it up and when you see it in the rearview mirror, it does look more like a monster, just for fun. Mike, do you think you can make a Sierra Denali 2500 review? I don't know. Probably not anytime soon, but I'll definitely. That's definitely be an awesome video. Okay, thanks. Thanks. Is this a special model? No, the Sport is actually, and I kind of respond in a way to kind of hopefully, you know, answer that question. It's not really a special model. It's actually just a lower trim level. I mean, not a Sport. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of another comment. The EX is a lower trim level, but still has quite a few standard features. But not like it's not some special model. Are they leather seats? No, they're cloth. So yeah, just respond to that. Which I'm pretty sure I mentioned in the video, so maybe you just overlooked it. Alright, I'm suddenly addicted to Jeep. Always hated its front ugly look, but now I want one. So then I just like share my a recent video I did with a red, you know, customized Jeep. So people that like Jeeps might actually like that one. Okay, so this is a situation where I don't know if they get what I'm saying. I kind of went back and forth. So they were saying that their LED accents on the front weren't turning on. I tried to kind of go through, and basically it's best for them to kind of have that handled by their dealer, so that way they can kind of learn, you know, firsthand, because sometimes you just can't explain stuff in the comments, or I was unsuccessful anyway. So luxury, let's see, so luxury that you can slide the rear seats forward. So, and then I guess this is like the little face there of a unimpressed face. So I just, as a joke, just said impressed. But yeah, the back seats, Not all vehicles have that, so that is a feature that, you know, that's useful, because you can add to your cargo space. You can also, especially if you have car seats, you can kind of, you know, reposition it a little bit closer to you there in the front or whatever. But you know, it's just something that I wouldn't necessarily say it's a feature for sure, but it's not necessarily characteristic to luxury. Is there an auxiliary jack? I didn't see one in that particular car. It is a lower trim level, so he's saying it must be perfect for the iPhone 7. Alright. Now, I just to mention about the auxiliary jack, I mean, I have one, and I used to use it quite often, but, you know, once you start using Bluetooth and USB ports and different things, I rarely use it anymore. I mean, like, never. Okay, so here's one that's kind of, I would say it's a criticism, but it's more like just a guy that wants to put me down or insult me or something. You know, so like, say, his comment is, so monotonous and boring presentation. This is more like a vlog than a review. You guys need to learn how to present. I turned it off after 2 minutes to your presentation. Meh. Okay, so I guess, like, he doesn't like my style or whatever, and that's fine, and I'm not expecting everybody on earth to like it. But like, let's say you don't like my style. Let's say you know, I don't have this charismatic voice, and, you know, I'm not, you know, flashing and zooming in and out and stuff like that. You know, you can say, hey, you know, this is not my style. You can say, you know, I mean, there's lots of other ways in which you can say, hey, you know, this isn't my cup of tea, or you can just, like, leave, you know. But basically, my initial response was, you know, this is not an entertainment channel. So he's saying it's boring. But boring compared to what? You know, so, you know, if he's looking for it to be entertained, which usually when people have this response is because they're not really looking to buy the car. They're just there to be entertained or to have some kind of other experience. So, and I used the example before, information has certain value to certain people. So let's say I happen to have a video in which I were to boringly tell you the winning lottery number, you know. But it's boring. It's not, you know, it's flashy and entertainment. There's not dancing going on and, you know, synchronized dancing and all that stuff. So, or music playing. But the value is there to where you'll deal with the boring video, or the video that's not your cup of tea or not your style, just because you're trying there to get the value. You know, your focus is on the value, not the entertainment. So this is kind of my default response to people when they say that it's boring, or that it's, you know, like, it's not, their presentation isn't to what they're looking for, because that's typically what it is. You know, they're not really looking for any specific information. They're just there to have, you know, just some kind of experience. So they respond, I know it's not. Stop being defensive and learn how to present or hone your communication skills. I've watched thousands of review videos over the years and only a few stand out. Okay, so here's an example of where, you know, he's watching review videos, thousands of them, okay? So this is another clue that he's not actually there to buy the vehicle. He's not actually there to learn about the vehicle in a way that he might possibly buy it. He's just out watching lots and lots of different videos for fun, or, you know, pastime or whatever. And also, you know, just kind of, in addition to, instead of, you know, showing empathy, it's like, okay, here's your objective. When I look at criticism, I look at, do they know my objective? Do they know what I'm trying to achieve? And are they trying to help me get there? Okay. So telling me to stop being defensive, I'm not really being defensive in a way, because, I mean, if somebody is just there to use me as to kind of vent their anger or their displeasure or whatever, then I'm not going to just roll over them. Always going to push back on that kind of crap. But so he's saying, I know it's not. Stop being defensive and learn how to present and hone your communication skills. I've watched thousands of review videos over the years and only a few stand out. Okay, so, but he only watched 2 minutes, so he doesn't. I guess he doesn't realize that my value proposition is I show and do it objectively. I show the vehicle and I do it objectively, and I show everything much more than almost every video out there. And it's shown. Okay, at a very minimum, even if you turn the audio off, you'll learn a lot just by watching the video. Okay, so apparently he deleted a comment in which he suggested this video of this. It's like a UK auto trader video, and he's like, "This is how you do it, right?" So, and I watched the video, but the video was like, the camera was aimed at the guy's face the whole time. I'm like, I don't even see the car. Like, what car are we even looking at? What are we doing? Like, what's the point? And also, the guy's sharing a lot of this, subjective, his subjective opinion and all that stuff. And literally, the camera was just like this, just like it's aimed at me. And look how much of the car, like right now, if you didn't know what car I'm in, you wouldn't even know what car it is. But yeah, that's the whole video. That was the whole video, is him looking into the camera, and he was framed up the whole time, and the car was just this secondary thing. Yeah, he's talking about a car, but at what point are we actually going to see the car or know anything that's going to be useful to me? I know you're going to share your experience or whatever and your opinion, but I guess that's the kind of stuff that is for entertainment seekers, not the value, the information seekers. And that's what I was trying to get with my first comment. So I said, as a joke, I need to develop an English accent and keep the camera pointed at my face for 90% of the video. Got it. So I mean, it's like he doesn't know what I'm trying to achieve, but yet he's trying to give me this advice that doesn't match my preferences. I mean, it doesn't match my goals. Like, keeping the camera on me the whole time and not showing the car, that's not my goal. Speaking skills, yes, definitely everybody can improve their speaking skills, especially me. So yeah, if communicating properly and speaking clearly is always is a challenge for a lot of people. So some people are better at it than others. So yeah, I can definitely improve my communication skills, but as far as talking, but that's not what he's saying. He didn't originally say, well, you know what, this video could be better if you practice speaking clear, better or clearer or something like that. Some kind of like something to where he's showing me that he knows what I'm trying to accomplish, and he's trying to help me accomplish that, which he's just trying to wipe his feet on me at this point. Okay, so you need to stop humming like a bumblebee. I don't understand that. Like, am I humming through the video? I don't see that, but... And yes, be expressive, learn few more words, and engage the audience. So engage the audience. So I'm like, turn the camera around and say, hey audience, are you listening to me? Like, it's called communication skills. You want American reviews. Watch Brian Cooley, even TFL would be fine, but do learn. And then here's the part where it shows, his true intentions. Arrogant Americans never learn. So, he has some kind of thing against Americans apparently, and also he's classifying me as arrogant as he's being arrogant himself. So that's pretty much obvious. Okay, so telling me to learn. So this is my response here. You know, I learned quite a bit from filming over 900 videos, full-length videos. This is actually one of my shorter videos. Yeah, somewhere in there he said to be, you know, make shorter. I don't know if he deleted comments or what, but he was talking about make short videos and stuff like doesn't match my goals, you know. I learned that I show more of the car and provide more info than of the actual buyers want to see than all those other companies who suggested. Like I said, this is not an entertainment channel where I look into the camera for large portions of the video and complain or tell you my subjective opinion. I focus on the car the whole time and go over its features as if the buyer was actually there. I understand that my channel and style does not appeal to everyone, and that's fine, but do not call me arrogant for not changing my style to match your preferences. Actually, calling me arrogant sounds like a classic case of psychological projection. And psychological projection is where you're attributing the attributes, your own attributes, onto other people. You're projecting those attributes on other people and claiming that they have those attributes when it's really in you, and it's a common thing. But that's how. And then I, you know, posted a comment here, recent comment 5 hours ago. Thank you for showing off features that the car that people actually want to hear about, rather than boring half-hour documentary about the car's irrelevant history. You know, and it just shows as a contrast. Like, yeah, I get thousands of comments like this, but yet very, very few comments like his. So, you know, his preference is not fact. You know, everybody's preference is different, so don't you know, call me arrogant and stuff like that, because you don't know what I'm trying to achieve. And obviously, I mean, his channel is empty, so you know, he's not a creator or doing anything in that realm, so it's hard to take. It's not really criticism, it's just insults, and I guess it props up his insecurities or something, I don't know. Alright. Okay, so Chris, he says, nice overview. The Touring is supposed to have a wireless charging for phones where you place the keys. And I hear this, I see this a lot, in which people assume knowledge, or they assume something, or they think something, and they just, it's like a total assumption. So if you see something like that, then if you see an actual video of a Touring that doesn't have a feature you thought it was supposed to have, you probably want to look it up. If you actually looked at the description, it shows all the features laid out, like from the base model all the way up to the Elite, and you can see where it actually adds the wireless charger in the Elite model and not in the Touring model. So the description said it, and also gave them a link to the brochure. I mean, it's pretty much everywhere that, you know, it's not always in the Touring. Maybe an option, but it's not always in there. So yeah, I was just, you know, trying to give him some information there, where if you make a comment, you might want to do a little research on it if you're making a claim like that, or provide a link. You know, providing a link is fantastic, because it gives them an objective, external way of validating what you're trying to say. Because if I can instantly invalidate it by simply looking at my own description of the video, you know, then, you know, whatever. I mean, it's just a mistake, but it's easily rectified by a little bit of research. Okay, thanks for showing off the feature of the car. This is the video I was talking about before. You know, and I see this a lot in other videos where they go into like, well, this is the 3rd generation, the 4th generation, the 5th generation. These are the changes here and here and here and here. And they go out in the past, they go out in the future, they go out to different trim levels, they go out to different models in a segment, and that is, it's like this common, like, that's what you do in videos, and I avoid it like the plague, because there is not, when I was actually selling cars and I'm dealing with customers directly, there is never a time in which a person is shopping. I'm looking for cars in this segment and I'm comparing these cars in this segment only, and that's my that's what I'm going to consider, nothing else. You know, there's lots and lots of times in which people shop cross segments, which completely invalidates the whole comparing segments. I mean, there's almost never. Matter of fact, you're competing with a car. If there's a car in the market, not only are you competing with other cars in that are like it and other manufacturers have, but also other segments, of course, and a boat. Okay, so I can make a choice to buy a car, or I can wait on the car and get a boat. Okay, or I can wait on the boat and the car and get an addition to the house or something, or I can, you know, I think it's in my personal perspective, is focusing in on trying to box people into a specific choice, or like, here is your segments and here's what I'm going to compare it to. Like, well, maybe some people that helps them out, I don't know, but it just seems completely irrelevant to all the people I've dealt with anyway. So I don't know if that makes any sense. So that's why I don't do that kind of stuff. All right. Okay, by far the best truck on the market. Okay, so that's cool that you think that. I think it's a cool truck. Hey, I'm not gonna even go into that kind of crap. All right. Okay, so this is one that so this is somebody saying, is this a good car? And this is a 2005. So 2005, you have a pretty good history, you know, 12 years of history of people driving it around and experiences with a 2005. So just a kind of brief look, you can see that there's some, you know, there's some reliability issues with it. So I just said I don't have any personal experience, but I heard it has a lot of reliability issues. So that way you can kind of steer them in the direction of possibly doing a little bit more research before he buys a car like that, to make sure that it's going to match his preferences. I'm not going to say, oh, it's a piece of junk or anything like that, because like I said, I don't have any personal experience and there's a lot of misinformation out there. So, you know, it does seem to have enough information out there to say that there is a possible reliability issue with it. All right. Okay, so here's another one I can't answer. Right now I'm looking for either a Ford Explorer and a Mazda CX-9. I wonder which one is better. Well, I can't answer that question. Better or worse, that's up to you, 100% up to you. And I can't, if I were to say this one's better, I don't know if it's better for you. You know, I can only say if it's better for me or whatever, but, you know, and I appreciate the question. It's just something I don't want to steer you in the wrong direction. I want you to kind of make up your own mind, and hopefully the video I made on the Ford Explorer will give you some information to help you do that. Which car is more reliable, the new Chevy Colorado or this car? I don't know. Actually, what I do is I'll go and look at projected reliability reports on new cars, and they have some kind of calculation, and that's how they do it. So I'll just share that with them, you know, when I get a chance, if I do get a chance to kind of put it together and see what the reliability, you know, projected possible reliability scores are going to be, and, you know, share that with them. You know, of course that's not 100%, and of course but it is based on some kind of information anyway, which is not my opinion. It's external for me. All right. Okay, so anyways, I'm just kind of, we'll do this comment here, and then I'm gonna end this video because it's kind of dragging on. So I get a lot of comments like, doesn't have LEDs, you know, WTF, this is 2017, it doesn't have LEDs. So here's one of the opposite type comments. So he thinks the LEDs look stupid on this particular car. So and I kind of respond to, usually I hear complaints when vehicles do not have LEDs, not when they do. So, he's looking for more of a classic muscle car look, and I understand that, and I respect that. But it's just funny the swings of opinions. Like, LEDs are great. If it doesn't have LEDs, then it's totally bad. What LEDs? I don't like those. So it just highlights that everybody has their own personal subjective opinion, and none of these are objectively positive or negative for these vehicles. It's just your preferences. So anyways, so that goes back 23 hours, so almost a day or whatever. So this person's asking what V6 means, so I just give them a link there so they can kind of do their own research and see what that is. Okay, so anyways, thank you for watching. I know it went on quite a ways, but I just want to kind of go over these comments and let me know if you want me to keep doing this video, the style of video. The whole vertical thing, I know it's going to be an issue for some people, and sorry for that. That's just the way this is set up. So thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.